Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video where we are going to be doing a golden sunset. So I've got my canvas here and I've already painted it with a solid layer of gold acrylic paint. I'm using the Pebeo Studio Acrylics High Viscosity paint in number 352. It's really good paint, and I've got two coats on here. So I'll show you my palette before we get started and then we'll paint. Okay, so I'm using palette paper for this painting. It's the Strathmore palette paper. This is the one that I got, and then I'm just reusing it. This is like where I had my gold acrylic paint for the background. I did that yesterday, but if you're doing it all in one day, just give it about like 10-15 minutes to dry before we go in. So I have titanium white, primary yellow, a yellow ochre, a burnt umber, green, blue, violet, red, a light pink, and then I'll be mixing these colors too. This painting is going to be super like gold vibrant, and so kind of my plan for this is to do a sunset with some clouds in the background and then some water coming onto like the sand over here. I kind of want to almost like let a lot of the gold come through and then just kind of like paint around it. I feel like it'll make sense as we go. I've been seeing a lot of these paintings online, so I kind of wanted to try something and try my own. I've been seeing a lot of like artists do it with gold leaf on the bottom first and then go on top. I don't have gold leaf, but I do have gold paint, so that is what we're going to use as our base and paint on top. So let's get started. I think I'm gonna work top down horizon, probably about 60 to 70% up. Yellow and a little bit of yellow ochre. Yeah, and I think about here we're gonna go. And then I'm gonna kind of like fade this up a little bit. I'm gonna go in more with this yellow ochre. And the brush that I'm using is a square brush. It's 3/4 of an inch. And now I'm gonna take a little bit of this yellow ochre. I'm gonna take a little bit of my red, mix that together, and just start to kind of bring this color and then blend these all together. In this color that we had, I'm just gonna add even more red, and we're just gonna like transition it. So we're adding like just like a little bit more red, and just go up. Only like the very top are we gonna put in a little bit of purple. So now just like at the very top, I'm going to purple and some red, mix that, and then we're just gonna put that like right on top. And now I'm gonna rinse off my brush, dry it on a paper towel, and just go one time top to bottom to smooth out any lines, and then bottom to top. So now we have our nice like fade from the sky. What I'm gonna do now is we're gonna have our sun, so we can either put it in the middle or off to the side, or even on this side. When I'm thinking about sun placement, I'm thinking about the rest of the composition. So if I want to do a, clouds in this corner, the water going maybe this way, it kind of creates this movement going this way, which I think would be really nice. So I think I want to put the sun here, and then everything will be kind of like a diagonal up, kind of like eye movement. So to put in a sun, I'm going to take a little bit of white, some yellow ochre. I'm going to mix that all together. We have a really nice, pretty light yellow. You just kind of rotate your brush. I'm going to take a new brush. You can take a round brush, or if you have kind of like a really small like mop brush, and I'm just going to kind of like smudge these edges. And then I'm going to go back into that yellow color that we made and add it back into our sun. So I want to put in some like clouds up here, and I'm just going to kind of like outline. This is the exact same sun color, like some super organic shapes. Put in where the sun hits it at the bottom, and I'm rotating my brush. I'm like twisting it like this so that it like kind of creates really natural shapes. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse off my brush. So I'm going to now go in kind of back into this like purpley pink color that we had, which is dry now. So I'm gonna take a little bit of purple, red, and I'm gonna do a little bit of white as well. I'm just gonna mix that together. I just want to add a little bit maybe of this yellow ochre, and then this will kind of be like a little bit of a shadow color, so just putting it like in between the yellow and the orange, and we're just gonna like filling that in. And then what I'm going to do is roll off all the paint onto a paper towel, like completely take off as much paint as I possibly can, and then I'm going to just like blend all of these together as much as I can. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of water because these paints are drying so fast. We're gonna try to get a little bit of a blend. And I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it is blending a little bit. So you kind of have to work fast. You don't want your brush to be soaking, but you want it to be damp for this step. I'm going to put in this sun color as well. So since I have some of the sun color still wet and available, I'm just gonna use that now. So I'm just gonna go in first here and just kind of lay in. And then in terms of the water on the sand, I'm going to outline that as well. Okay, so that is the highlights on the water, and then I'm going to go in with some of this like purple sky color. So that is just a little bit of purple, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow ochre, and then we have this really pretty sky color, and then that is going to edge right along the horizon. And then we're going to do straight horizontal lines all the way across, and we'll make them like thin and close together as we're like further back, and then more far apart and thicker as we get closer to the shore. So really what we're painting here is the shadows of the waves, and then the gold is the highlights where like the water is reflecting. And then over here where we put in our highlights, we're gonna do the darker color under the highlights. Now I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. This is Artist Loft size 0. It's like super skinny, and I'm gonna go through and put even more details going back here. I'm gonna outline this as well, and I'm gonna be using a purpley blue color for that. So I'm gonna take a little bit of purple, a little bit of blue, and then a little bit of red, and let's put in some white, our color, to kind of go in and put in some details. I'm gonna put a little bit of water on my brush just to like help the fluidity. I'm gonna wet my square brush, and I'm just gonna like lightly go over it. Do the same thing on this side. And so this is just really diluted purple color. I just wanna kind of cover this section. So just to kind of like tie this in. Okay, and that completes this video of our golden sunset. I absolutely love how it reflects in the light, and like how the clouds look, and like the sun and all the highlights and everything. It's a really, really fun painting, and I think it'd be perfect for like a paint night. This painting took me about 2 hours, so I think it's like right in that window of like a fun paint event picture. And so yeah, I feel like it would look good like on a wall even, or just yeah, like anywhere in your space. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I went back and forth a little bit with like adjusting the highlights in the clouds to match the highlights in the water. It's a great painting, and I had so much fun. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all the things, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.